right. And I'm just going to have the cushion under my head for the first few moments. And you're just going to lie back, bend your knees so your feet are on the ground for a moment, and then place your hands underneath your head. Lift your head up, almost give yourself a little bit of a traction stretch, and then let your head come all the way. Take your hands, place them around the fronts of your ribs on the right and the left side. And then what I like to do here is open my knees into a butterfly position. It feels like a nice release on the front of my hips, but if there's any strain around the hips or the lower back, then just move your legs into a position that feels good for you. Let your shoulders just hunch up towards your ears for a moment, and then let your shoulders settle into a relaxed position. And then you have a choice to either close your eyes completely or just allow your gaze to soften. And we're going to start off with breathing in and out through the nose. So we're going to keep the lips gently slow down. Taking the first few moments of our class this morning to feel out what's happening with our bodies, to notice what's happening with our energy, and just navigating your way to a calm, quiet space so that we can just move gently through the next hour, no rushing. And continue breathing in and out through your nose. And see if you can allow your exhale to become just a little bit longer than your inhale, even if it's just one count longer. Start to notice the back of your pelvis and the back of your ribs as you settle into the space. Feeling your back and your pelvis widen, soften and release, and perhaps you start to feel that your body becomes a little bit heavier. Staying here for just a few more moments, and before we start moving, take a moment to think about silver linings. And just in your day-to-day, in this very present moment, think of one silver lining in your life. A thing, a person, a feeling, anything that you are grateful for. And you can continue breathing in and out through the nose, or if it feels good for you to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth, then you can swap your breath. Keeping your eyes soft or keeping them closed, just lifting your hands up gently and bringing your fingers to your eyebrows and just start circling your fingers around your eyes, just lightly rubbing your skin around the eyebrows and then over the tops of the cheekbones, just drawing gentle circles around the eyes, and then keep circling your fingers and allow your eyes to blink open gently. Bring yourself back into your space becoming aware of your outside surroundings. And then bring your hands down to the sides of your legs. And if you have your legs out to find butterfly, just help yourself bring your legs all the way up. Squeeze the knees together, squeeze the feet together, put your hands on the lower belly, and then start to tilt the pelvis backwards and forwards. And it's quite a small movement, and it's what we call imprinting. So as you tilt your pelvis forwards and backwards, you can feel that your lumbar spine actually creates an imprint on the ground underneath you. Keep this movement going and see if you can switch off your bum cheeks and switch on your lower abdominals. So your lower abs are in fact creating this movement. Taking a few more, feel that little ripple effect traveling up through your spine. And now we're going to do one more imprint, and I actually want you to stay here. Keep your hands on your pelvis, keep your imprint, make sure you can breathe, and see if you can slide your right leg out along the ground. Are you able to keep that imprint? Can you feel how the lower abs are connecting? And then bend that knee back up again, keep the imprint. And now slide the left leg out along the floor. Still breathing. Do you still have that imprint? And bring that leg back up. Lower abs are still working. Now slide the right leg out. Hold it there. Do you have an imprint? Slide the left leg out to join it. You still have the lower abs connected. And then relax your pelvis and let the lower abs switch off. Tilt your pubic bone again, so now you go back into the imprint and you switch on those abs again. Bending the right knee, bring it up. You still have an imprint. Bend the left knee, bring it up. Knees together, feet together. You still have an imprint. And then allow the pelvis to relax. So hopefully those lower abs have woken up. Bring your hands straight up towards the sky. Palms are facing each other. And we start to scissor the arms. And you can start off nice and small and then gradually make the movement bigger. Just make sure for yourself that you've got your wrists and your elbows staying straight. So the movement is coming from the shoulder socket and you are allowing that lovely movement of the scapula on your back. Let's just take a few more. And then bring both hands up towards the sky. Interlock your fingers. You're going to pop your hands underneath your head for support and relax the head down. Now, wiggle out your spine, create some space. Bring your elbows towards each other. Squeeze your legs. On your breath, curl your head and shoulders forward, but actually allow your arms to pull you up. And then releasing down gently. Keep the elbows as they are. And again, use your elbows to pull towards your thighs. And then allowing your body to come back. So you should be getting quite a lovely stretch around your neck and the upper back. Make sure that there's no strain in your lumbar spine. And release. And we're going to do just one more time. Draw your elbows towards your knees and then releasing all down. And now start to open your elbows nice and wide. Stretch them open and then bring the elbows back up towards each other. Your head resting on the ground. And again, open the elbows. So you're flapping your wings basically. And bring the elbows up. And now open the elbows halfway to the side and you stay here. Nod your chin, come up into a chest lift. And this time there is no pulling on your head. Feel the abdominals and releasing back down. And again, connecting into your breath. And it should still feel quite nice and easy through the neck and the back because you gave yourself a little stretch. See if you can start to bring your focus and your awareness to the abdominals. Let's take 2 more. And we're going to take 1 more time. Now listen up. Curl forward and stay there. Do the imprint with your lumbar spine so you zip up abs. Have you got your lower abs working? Stretch the right leg out. Are you still zipping up and imprinting? Let your leg rest on the floor. Stretch the left leg out. Do you still have the pubic bone tilting? Let your pubic bone release away and lower head and shoulders. Come up into a chest lift. Curl forward, abs. Now, zip up the pubic bone, lower abs. Bending the right knee. Foot on the floor. Bending the left knee, squeeze the knees together. Are you still tilting the pelvis? Now let the pelvis go back to neutral and take your head and shoulders down. 1 more time. Coming up into your chest lift and pause. Now tilt the big to nose and wake up those lower abs. Now this time stretch the left leg out first. Let your leg settle on the floor. Down. Are you still tilting the pubic bone? Stretch the right leg out to join. Hold it. Let your pelvis release and lower head and shoulders. Last time in reverse. Chest lift, curl forward. Tilt your pubic bone towards your nose. Bend the left knee, foot to the ground. Are you still tilting? Bend the right knee, still tilting, knees together. Release your pelvis and lower head and shoulders down. Nicely done, guys. Bring your hands out, reaching them up towards the sky once again. Open your arms wide, breathing in. Exhale and lift. And again, breathing in energy through fingertips. And we're going to do 2 more. And on your last one, open your arms to the side and then press the backs of your hands onto the floor so your chest is open. Picking up your right thigh, cross it over the left thigh. Roll your knees to the left. Look over your right shoulder and bring yourself into a twist that feels good for your spine. Staying here for 3 breaths in and out. Feeling that release all the way down. The side of the waist, so the obliques, the side of the hip, maybe the side of the leg. And come all the way back to the center. Bring both knees up into your chest, tuck them in, and then move your hands down a little on your legs so that you can come into a little bit of a piriformis and gluteal stretch here. Holding it for just a few more moments. And then uncross your legs, hug them both in towards your chest. Tuck yourself into a tight little ball shape, bringing your forehead towards your knees and feeling almost a stretch around your kidneys maybe. And then lower head and shoulders down, placing your feet onto the ground, knees together, arms out to the side, palms up. This time the left thigh goes over, roll your knees to the right. Look over the left shoulder and settle yourself into a twist. And again, as you breathe, just notice how your body has an opportunity to soften and release. You might notice that you start to feel a little bit heavier, a little bit more grounded. 1 more breath in and out. And then use abdominals, come all the way back to the center. Stay here for a moment. Bring both knees up. And then move your hand down towards your ankle so that you can get a bit of a stretch into the left bum cheek. Head and shoulders as easy as possible. And then release. Hug both knees into your chest. And 1 more time, tuck yourself into a tight little ball shape. Hug those knees in. And then lower head and shoulders down. Keep your feet lifted. And now bring your knees and your shins up to tabletop. Take your arms out again to the side with your palms up, knees together, and we're going to roll the knees over to the right. So because you're keeping the ankles and the knees together, you're going to have to keep your right hip down, but your left hip comes up, and then back to the center. Roll both knees over to the left, chest is open, and exhale, back to the center. Rolling your knees to the right. You can look over to the left if you want. And back to the center. And we're going to do one more time, rolling the knees over to the left. Come back to the center, hold it. Now take your hands behind your legs. Exhale as you extend both legs up as straight as possible, and then bend your knees. Now as you straighten your legs, bring your head forward towards your knees. Stretch. And lower down. Now we're going to do one more time, and we're going to stay up there. Exhale, stretch up. Pause here. We're going to do an exercise called the hamstring pull one. Bring your right leg towards you and hold onto it with both hands. On the floor, but it doesn't rest, and you do 2 gentle pulls. Lift your legs up. Now switch over, and you do 2 gentle pulls. And now we smooth it out. And again. 2 more. Feeling that wonderful release into the back of the legs. 1 more. Both legs up, stay there, and then lower your head and shoulders down. And now, take the arms out to the side. Keep your legs as straight as you can manage, and take both your legs over towards the right. Just what we did a second ago, except we have the knees bent. And now pull back to the center. Take both legs over to the left, keeping the chest open. And exhale, narrow the waist. Both legs over to the right, left shoulder down. Exhale, center. 1 more time. Here we go. Both legs over. And center. Hold it. Bend your knees and hug them into your chest. Put one hand on top of each knee, and then start to circle the legs around. So you're lovely, stir the clouds, mobilizing the hip, and then we're going to change direction. We're going to go the other way, stirring the clouds. 1 more time, and hold it here. Hook your hands behind your legs, and you're going to bring your legs away from you. You guys know this one. It's our very slow rolling like a ball. Curl your head forward and start pouring your body weight in towards your feet. Your feet touch the ground, and then you bring your head towards your knees. And again, rolling back. So you start to pull your hands onto your legs, shifting your body weight, pouring your body weight back into your shoulders, and then your head touches the floor and you hug the knees in. Let's do 2 more like that. And curling forward. And it's amazing how your breath affects this. So as you exhale, it pulls deeper into your core. So you inhale to roll, and then as you exhale, you can feel how your core helps you roll back with control. Last one. Lifting forward, breathe. It's a strong exhale. Feet touch the ground. Forward you come, and then roll all the way up into a sitting position. So scoot back so that you're on your mat. And you guys know this one. Cross your right foot over, stand on that foot, flex the left toes. Right hand supports you at the back. Use a pillow if you need. And now, left hand up. Start coming into a little bit of a twist with the lumbar spine, thoracic spine, and then you look over the right shoulder. So remember, when you're in a twist, it's very easy to try and over-rotate. So instead of pushing, connect into your breath and notice how that internal release facilitates the rotation. Last two. Create space. Last one. And release. Now, come back to center. Just let the right knee open out to the side. You've still got the ankle crossed. Lean back a little bit, and then just pull that up so that you're standing on that foot. And so this is a little bit different from what we did a second ago, because now with the knee up to the side, it becomes a little bit more around the hip joint as opposed to the deep muscles. And remember, you can rock the baby. That feels good for a little release. And come to the center. Stretch that leg out and then uncross and give it a little bit of a shake. Left foot steps over. Make sure you're flexing the right foot. Hand behind your back. Reach up and into a little bit of a twist so that now you're going to be looking over the left shoulder. Keep growing tall. Easy connections through the body and bringing your awareness to your internal release. And coming back, let your knee just open out to the side, crossing the ankle over the knee, then reach back and bring yourself up into a supported position. Ooh, tighter on this side. And then you can rock a little bit from side to side if that feels okay for your knees, lower back, etc. And release, stretching the leg out, and then uncross and give the leg a little bit of a shake. So now I'm going to do a reverse tabletop. So have your hands behind you with your fingers pointing out to the side. Bend your knees and they're going to be slightly separated. Pushing out of the arms, and just see if you can hover your bum off the ground. This is just the first step to make sure that your wrists are okay, to make sure that you're okay with the position of your feet, and that you can get out of your neck and shoulders. And then releasing down, make any adjustments that you need to your position. Now we're going to see if we can go up a little bit higher. So on your breath, hover your hips, and then start pressing your pelvis upwards. Think about sending your knees forward, opening up across the chest and the heart. Don't worry about where your head is. Where does it need to be for you? Take a breath in, and then exhale. And as you come down, you want to control the movement and release. We're going to do two more. Give your hands shake in between if you need. First, a little hover of the hips. And then start pressing up. And you want to feel that you've got equal weight on each limb. 25% of your body weight on each of those table legs. And then slowly down you come. Good. We're going to do one more time. And again, pressing up. And notice on your own, where do you feel the stretch? Where do you feel the work? So I feel quite a strong stretch on my shoulders. I know that's my tight area. And gently down you come. And release. So bring yourself into a cross-leg position. It doesn't matter which leg is on top or once you have your legs in front. I'm going to turn so you can see me from the back. You're just going to interlock your fingers behind your back. Bring your hands over to your left hip, sitting up as straight as possible. And if you have a stretch in your right neck and shoulder already, stay there. If you want to increase it, you can lean your left ear over towards your left shoulder and just make sure that you can breathe. And if you wanted to add a little bit of movement or release, you can Tip your nose towards your armpits and release it back up. Tip nose towards armpit and release. We're just going to stay here for a few more seconds. Bring your head back up and then move your hands through the center and now over to the right hip. You can stay here or you can lean your head to the side or you could start to do tipping the nose and release. Come to the center, lifting your head and release and taking both arms. We inhale, reach all the way up. Touch the tips of the fingers to their partners. And then exhale, opening the arms nice and wide. Good. So now we're going to come into our little mermaid seat. So you can have your left shin in front. And I'm just getting my pillow out of the way. Let's just go a little bit from side to side. Getting into that lateral flexion of the spine. You guys know that I think this is so important for us, especially with the amount of sitting that we do. The whole sideline of the body tends to get very shortened. And bringing your left hand to the ground, stay here for a moment, feeling that opening along the right side body, and then coming into a little bit of a twist. Putting your hands down to the floor, separate your hands so that they're in line with each other, and then close your eyes for a moment. Feeling your shoulders start to square themselves in line with your wrist, and notice where your head, your pelvis, and your legs naturally settle. And we're just going to stay here for a moment, taking 3 breaths in and out. And once again, tuning into the internal release that we create with our breath. Notice how your body starts to soften into the shape. Spreading your fingers out nice and wide on the floor. You can open your eyes or you're welcome to keep them closed. Start arching the spine as you lift your head, lift your heart. And then curl back, pushing away from your hands gently as you tuck your chin in. And again, inhale as you arch. And exhale as you curl back. And there's going to be just a natural movement that comes through the spine and dictates where your head and your pelvis go. So we're not forcing, we're allowing. One more time. Come back to the center. Pause for a moment. Now move your left hand towards the middle of your mat. Pick up your right hand. Take a little bit of a peek underneath. And then coming all the way up. Just spin until you go to place. Other shin to the front. Take a moment to settle yourself. And again, we just do our little side-to-side movement. Just feeling out if you have the same range on this side. Because, again, what's so interesting about sitting in this position is that you've got internal rotation at one hip socket and external at the other. So it affects your whole body. The right hand to the floor and reaching the left hand over. And then let's do a little twist, placing both hands onto the ground, and then squaring your shoulders and closing your eyes. Feeling each inhale and exhale expand you from the inside out. Letting your head and your pelvis settle, release, and then eyes open or closed, start moving into an arch of the spine and into a curl of the spine. Using your breath. I like to inhale as I arch, and I like to exhale as I curl back. Taking just a few more. Feeling that ripple effect through your body as you move. Come back into the center. Just settle yourself for a moment. Moving your right hand to the center. Picking up your left hand, take a little bit of a peek underneath. And then coming all the way up. Nicely done. From here, come onto all fours. Getting your wrists into a nice comfortable position for yourself. Getting your knees into a comfortable position. And then let's start moving into our cat stretch. Start rounding through your spine. And then start lengthening, lifting tail, lifting heart, lifting eye line. And this should feel so easy after you've done that mermaid twist. Exact same. Arch and curl the spine. Feeling how your breath can move you from the inside out. One more time. Round your spine up, and let's stay here for a moment. Tuck your toes under, and then start pushing into hands and the feet, and just lift your knees. But we're staying in a rounded spine, taking the opportunity to really lift into those abdominals. Keep tucking your chin, tucking your tailbone. Take one more breath in and out. And then exhale, lower the knees, and release spine and release feet. Taking your right leg straight back. On your breath, lifting that right leg. We're going to hold it here. Flex the back foot, and I want you to close your eyes. I want you in your mind's eye to draw a straight line from the crown of your head through the center of your body and out through that back heel. Now you can keep eyes closed. Start to push away from your hands so your whole body glides back as if you're going to touch your heel to the wall behind you. And then glide forward as if you're going to touch the crown of your head to the wall in front of you. Keep moving forwards and backwards. And yes, you're going to feel your center, but can you also notice how your arms and the leg that's on the floor is working quite hard here? Notice that shift of body weight, how it connects into the different areas of running. One more. Come back just to the center and hold it. Sweep that right leg around to the side, placing the foot down, and then holding it here. Now, cat stretch, round your spine. And then lengthen your spine. And again, round the spine. So hopefully you're still feeling a lovely release in that inner thigh. Taking two more. One more. Stay rounded. Let your hips come back slightly and push up onto the tips of the fingers. And then start rolling upright into an upright kneeling position. And then you spread your wings wide. Taking your right hand to the side of your leg. Left hand comes up, reaching up and over. And let's do our little trampolining movements here. Last two. Last one. And release, spread your wings, turn the palms of your hands up, and now slide over towards the left. And come back to the center. And again, slide. And center, beautiful. Slide, I'm going to turn to face towards you. And center one more time, slide and hold it. Bringing both arms up, framing your ears. And then open the arms. Stay leaning to the side. Framing your head, energy through fingertips. And how about one more time? Now stay there, and how about a little challenge? Open the top arm to bring it down. And lift that arm up again. How about the bottom arm? And lift, hold it. Open both arms, come all the way up. Bring both hands up, palms forward, cascade like a waterfall as you come all the way down. Fingertips to the floor, walking yourself forward, long spine, get your shoulders above your wrists, pick up that leg, sweep it around to the back, and bringing that knee all the way in. Stretching the left leg back, picking up the left leg, flex the foot, and you hold it here, closing your eyes. Draw your line from the crown of your head and out through the back heel. Feel the lower abs that we woke up earlier and feel the gluteus maximus, the big bum cheek. And then start shifting your body weight backwards and forwards. And again, it's quite nice if you're happy to do this with your eyes closed, because you can really feel what's happening with your body. You can feel the different muscles that start to kick in. If for whatever reason you prefer to have your eyes open, that's perfect as well. You just have to use a little bit more mental focus. And then center your shoulders above your wrists, moving your left leg out towards the side. Place your foot down and stay here. Let's go into the cat stretch, rounding your spine up. And then lengthen the spine, reach tailbone back and crown of head forward. And again. Think more about the journey that your spine is going through as opposed to the end position that you're hitting. And we're going to take one more time, rounding the spine, hold it here, move your hips back a little bit, push up onto the tips of your fingertips, and then rolling all the way upright and spread your wings wide. Left hand onto your leg. The other side, right hand comes up, and then just over to a little trampoline. Come back to the center, turning the palms so that they're facing up. And now slide away from that side leg and come back in. Sliding away. And two more. One more time. Slide away. Now hold it here. If you want to challenge yourself, you close the arms and you open the arms. And again. And open. Now, one more time, you can stay here, or how about opening the top arm? And bring it up again. How about opening the bottom arm? Bring it up. Open both arms. Come all the way back. Arms lift. Palms forward. Cascade. Over you go. Fingers can round. Walk yourself forward. Long spine, pick up the leg, move it around to the back, bringing the knee in, and then just open your knees, taking a moment to settle yourself back, bringing yourself into your best position for resting. And I like to bring my hands together in prayer and then bend the elbows, just so that I have a moment to take all the pressure off my wrists. And just as we started, see if you can take your breathing to inhaling and exhaling through your nose. And see if you can allow your exhale to be a little bit longer than your inhale. Then on your next breath, letting your hands release, spreading your fingers out, draw yourself up onto all fours, and you're going to tuck your toes under, nice long spine, and then hover both knees off the ground. Bring your left hand under your face, pivoting feet, knees, hips, and when you're ready, you pick up your right hand so you are suspended in the air. On your breath, lower your hips and your knees down towards the ground. Keep pushing out of that shoulder so you're actually resting. Let your hips come all the way down and rest on the floor. So you're sitting sideways. And then press yourself back up again. Hold it. And again, lower hips and knees with control. This is part of our side bend series. Let's go up again. And this is our last time, I promise. And lower hips and knees. And let's go up again. Now look down. Pivot yourself so that you're back facing the floor. And then lower your knees to the ground. Releasing the feet back. Turning your hands, so we go into just a little bit of a carpal tunnel release. And then again, you guys know this one. If you want to start moving forwards and backwards, you can. And then bring your shoulders a little bit past your wrists, and then pivot yourself back. Now, we've got one more set on the other side. Tuck your toes under. Hover your knees just up. Move your right hand under your face. Pivoting ankles, knees, hips. Balance on that right hand and lift the left arm. We're facing sideways. And now allow yourself to come down to the floor. So you're actually taking a seat here, but don't let your shoulder collapse. Now press up again. If there's any strain on your shoulders, then maybe keep your knees on the floor. And then lower down. Lots of lateral line work. And lift. And lower. And this is our last one. Here we go. Lift up. Look down. Pivot yourself back so you're on all fours. Lower the knees. Release. And then round your spine like a cat. Sitting your hips halfway back and you feel a stretch in the right place for you. And then you can stay there or you can do your little trampolinings. Taking just a few more. And now sit halfway back and once again push up onto the tips of the fingers. Really get those abdominals to connect. Tighten up your butt and see if you can roll into a kneeling upright position and coming all the way up and tall. Make sure that you still got your knees and your feet slightly separated. And let's just loosen up the shoulders for a second. Let's do a little bit of backstroke, alternating arms. And you might notice here that I'm not keeping my chest still. I'm actually allowing my body to move, but I'm really stretching my arm as much as possible. And I'm going to do just one more time each side. And hold. Roll your shoulders back and place your hands just over. I'm going to turn so you can see. So my hands are more over my bum and the heel of my hand is sort of at the top of my pelvis. And I'm trying to touch my baby fingers together. And then all we're going to do here is squeeze our bum cheeks. So as you squeeze your bum, can you feel your pelvis push forward? And then let your bum go. And again, push. If you need padding under your knees, give yourself some padding and release. Now squeeze your bum and feel your pelvis push forward. Now, keep your eye line up. Start pushing your hips a little bit forward and a little bit back. And a little bit forward. And it might feel like you're going quite far, but in fact, you're probably just bringing your pelvis in line with your knee. And 2 more. And 1 more. Push forward. Now stay here. Now you can stay here if you want, or you can inhale to lift your eye line to the corner of the room. And exhale, lower your eye line. Inhale, lift the eye line. Are you still squeezing your bum and pushing your hips? And release. So you can feel it's a lot of work on the bum and abs. Inhale, you can stay here, or you can bring your eye line down again. Now what you can do is inhale to lift your heart. And exhale, release. Inhale, lift your heart. And exhale, release. So guys, what you're doing is a back extension, but we're not forcing the back muscles to work. We're opening the front of our bodies. And release. Now you can stay here, or you can lift your heart. And then you can stay here and breathe, and maybe you can feel the elbows gently pulling in. If you're super flexible in your spine, you might want to go back a bit further, but please do not force it. This is about lifting the heart, not bending backwards. Take 1 more breath in and out. And slowly release. Slide the hands down. We inhale and exhale, and it's a cascading forward. And walking the hands all the way through. Setting yourself up. We're just going to do 10 baby push-ups. You're going to inhale to bend the elbows. And exhale to press up. Now, focus on keeping your feet down. Focus on keeping your elbows tucked in. Focus on weight bearing on the thumb and the forefinger. So if you need to move your hands, please move your hands. We're halfway there. Focus on your lower abs. And the more you can come forward over the front of your mat, the more challenging it is. Can you stay wide across your back? 2 more. 1 more. Press up, hold it. Tuck your toes under and start to walk your hands backwards towards your knees. Now guys, for anybody with knee issues, don't force it. You can keep your hips lifted, or you can put something behind your knees. We're just going to sit here for a moment. I want you to spread your fingers out so that you're pushing into your hands, and then lift your knees and roll onto your feet. Tuck yourself into a tight little ball shape as if you're doing a child's pose or a resting position, and then roll over your feet and put your knees to the floor again. You'll stretch the undersides of the feet. And again, push into your hands and roll back. Tuck yourself into a tight little ball shape, and then lower your knees. Stretch your feet and knuckles at the toes. 1 more time. Here we go. And roll back. This time, bring your hands closer to your feet and go up onto the tips of the fingers. And then you're going to start lifting the hips up, straightening your legs as much as you can, and then bend your knees and come down as deep as you can, depending on how your knees feel. And again, straighten. And down. 1 more time. Straighten. Stay here. Feet, relax your head, and then you can go into your ragdoll if you like. So you can hold one hand to the elbow, you can sway, you can bend and straighten the knees, whatever feels good for you. Just allow yourself to completely surrender into this position. And then release your hands, soften your knees. Take your time as you roll all the way up into standing. Feeling the abdominal support you, feeling the back of the body lift you. And then stay here for a moment as you just roll the shoulders back and around a few times. You guys can stay as you are. I'm just going to move to the front so that you can see what we're doing. Letting your arms just settle. And then you're simply going to bend your knees. And we're going to shift a little bit from side to side. So you're not lifting up one foot, but you're putting the majority of your body weight on one side. And I don't know about you guys, can you feel a stretch all the way down the calf and into the Achilles? Really depends if this is a tight area for you or not. I can really feel it on my left side. And then come to the center, taking a deep breath and reaching both arms up. Connect the tips of the fingers. Exhale, open the arms, straighten the knees. Then just let yourself settle here and closing your eyes. And just as we did at the beginning of our class, while we were lying on our backs, we're going to take all our inhale and exhale through the nose. Letting your breath slow down. Using this connection to your breath to let your body find some stillness, let your mind find some stillness, and actually just feel yourself. Notice yourself. Taking a moment as you stand here to really appreciate everything that your body is able to do for you. We all have obstacles that we push up against as we move our bodies. Maybe we have some injuries or some aches and pains or some tight areas. So just take a moment to acknowledge that as well. Take a moment to remind yourself of your silver lining for today. You could have lots of silver linings. What is the one silver lining you chose to acknowledge at the beginning of today's class? Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Open your mouth and sigh. Blink your eyes open gently. We're going to do one roll down to finish. Taking a breath in. Exhale as you nod your chin and just allow your body to melt over. Find the path of least resistance for yourself. Notice how far down your body would like to go. Soften yourself at the end of the movement. Take a breath. And exhale, back up you come into standing. Feel all four corners of your feet rooting you. Allow your head to float upwards. Roll the shoulders back and around. Ah, fantastic, guys.
Thank you, Renee. I'm so happy we got turned on.
I am so happy as well. It's amazing how teaching grounds me, you know. I feel so much better after I've been teaching. I would have felt very scattered otherwise.
Thank you, Renee.
Pleasure.